All right, hey, this is Act 2 of the podcast. We're getting right back into it. If you missed Act 1, go back and listen to that thing. Otherwise, this isn't going to make any sense. Okay, see ya. And an idiot. I was like, if we can get that guy, I actually would have conversations with him. I go, if we ever get him laughing, because he would be in the other room. And so I said, if you can see him reacting to what we're talking about on the air, just put his mic on. Just turn it up. It doesn't even matter if he knows it's on, as long as we can get him laughing onto a microphone while we're having this discussion. It's going to make everything funnier because he has one of those types of laughs. Ben Glaze has another one of those laughs where it's like, okay, when people hear that, it makes them feel good, and they laugh along with it most times. All right. Let's see. What else did I have for you? Okay, so the soccer game, the men kicked ass. They won 3-0. The ladies were up 1-0, and then the other team scored with like 3 minutes to go to tie it up. Finished in a tie. I still have not posted the latest Who Are These Free Beers that we recorded on Tuesday, as well as the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. Yesterday was nutty, as I indicated. I'll get that done for you today. On Patreon. Patreon.com/Eric Zane if you want to get after that. Free 7-day trial can be yours at patreon.com/Eric Zane. I'm going to send away the folks that are watching the show on Facebook and YouTube. You must go to Twitch if you want the show uninterrupted, and it's oh so simple. Either download the Twitch app on your mobile device, just basic information, name, what you want to be known as. Stand by. And then follow so you know when I go live. If you don't get the notification, I'm going to go every day on Twitch at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. on Fridays, except tomorrow. And then that audio becomes the audio podcast on Apple Podcasts and Twitch. But follow me on Twitch. I'm sorry, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Follow me on Twitch if you want the full show uninterrupted, because like I said, Facebook and YouTube, I'm about to kick you out. So do that. Don't forget about Patreon as well. It's an entirely different platform. No sponsorship powering that one. It's merely your dollars and cents. $5 a month for audio, $10 a month for audio, video, live streams, Zoom, live show participation, and first crack at new material. And a 7-day free trial, as I mentioned, all at patreon.com/Eric Zane. Okay. So thank you for checking out the show on YouTube and Facebook. And I'll kick you out. So thank you so much. Meanwhile, hello to the sponsors that are here on this edition of the show. We have a Eric Zane Show podcast field trip coming up Friday, August 21 and Saturday, August 22. So plenty of time for you to prepare. In fact, 3 months to the day right now when the Tie-Dye Festival starts. It's in Howard City, Michigan, just north of Grand Rapids. And it's 2-day event or day-and-a-half event. 24 bands playing, food, drink. Plenty of you dope smokers will be there. Probably several people selling acid. It is a free concert, free event, I should say. Free camping, if you like. So you bring your tent, your camping chairs, you bring your a camp stove, whatever the hell, to prepare your food, your inflatable mattress, sleep on the ground. I don't give a shit. I will not be in a tent because I'm bringing the fraud bus, and there'll be guards posted out around it to keep you away. And I am hosting as the MC for all of the bands that will be performing there at this event, and I want to see you there Friday, Saturday. August 21 and 22, the Tie-Dye Festival. Also, tons of vendors that will be there if you like to shop for that type of hippie shit. It's all there at the Tie-Dye Festival. Hello to Zelensky Outdoor Services If you're tired of college kids racing to finish your lawn, looks like garbage, you're like, wait a minute, why am I paying so much for this? I paid you to do it for me, but I want it to look good. If they're struggling in the making it look good department, that's because Nate is not doing it. You will never have Nate rushing through a job. Reach out to Nate, call or text 734-626-7788 in West Michigan. Now, I'm only going to be talking about Nate for a few more weeks. You can still call him whenever, but there's a chance he might turn away the business. He's the startup, and he's by himself, and he reached out to me to jumpstart the client list. And obviously, he can only do so much. As the business expands, he'll be taking on more customers. But call now and get the quote for Zelensky Outdoor Services, 734-626-7788. Mowing, edging, weed eating, aeration, fertilization, yard cleanup, 734-626-7788. Okay. There's a community not far from here. As Nick adds, bring a spare tent for EZ for when the fraud bus breaks down. Shut up. I wonder if you'll be thinking about me at all this weekend. There'll be a full report Tuesday on the performance of the fraud bus. One of the local hillbilly communities where I live is called Hartford, Michigan. And one of the city councilmen didn't like the fact that one of the constituents in the community was dogging him on Facebook. So they're having their little city commission meeting, and a fucking fist fight breaks out between these two old fucks. Let's get to the bottom of this one.
His attorney 536.
Video shared with News 8 of Monday night's City of Hartford meeting captures the brewing tension in the room. The videos were intended to record.
Okay, guy in white shirt with the red hat. He's one of the combatants. The guy shooting the video is the other combatant, I think.
The official meetings, leading to several gaps in the recording during interactions with Whedon and Spula. In one clip, Whedon can be seen gesturing with his middle finger.
Tough guy.
Okay, so the guy gives a finger to the dude shooting the video.
All right, thank you.
I wonder if that's a MAGA hat.
I'll stay here and be as out of order as I want to be.
I'm going to stay here and be as out of order as I want to be. Everybody else is like, oh, fuck.
The clip picks up as the fight starts.
Okay, it's got to be a MAGA hat. He's wearing one of those dumb shirts that says freedom ain't free or some shit. So MAGA hat, fuck, and fat fuck Dusty Rhodes goes after him.
Be as out of order as I want to be.
Another clip picks up as the fight starts.
And a guy who just got off work on the road crew is trying to break him up.
Another clip picks up as the fight starts.
All right, Dusty Rhodes throws a left. This guy here is just smiling and not doing anything. He knows that them playing the feud is going to be great fun.
The men fall to the floor as both the chief of police and the public works superintendent trying to break up the fight.
Okay, Sunglasses is the chief of police. He's got some bedazzled pants on. This is the required work attire to be the chief of police. And public works guy, you know, of course he's wearing that. He looks like he just got out of the sewer.
Stop! You're under arrest!
The Hartford Police Department tells News 8 both men were briefly detained and released before the case was referred out of the department due to a conflict of interest.
You're doing your job, sir.
Now, when he got up and he...
By the way, guy who is getting arrested here, he's got a shirt. I noticed this. He's got a DC Comics shirt on.
The Hartford Police Department tells Newsday both men were briefly.
And then when they interview him, he's got an Avengers T-shirt on, and he's talking at the comic shop.
Before the case was referred out of the department due to a conflict of interest.
You're doing your job, sir.
Now, when he got up and he come running
I want to go to the comic shop.
after me, well, of course I got up and I'm going to fight with him, and I'm not going to stand there and just let him club me.
Spula says tensions have been brewing over Whedon's conduct while in office. He says the commissioner has clashed with community members online. He believes that a recent complaint he filed against the commissioner about his taxes boiled over things.
I have every right to criticize whatever I see unfit that he's doing. If he likes it, that's fine. If he doesn't like it, that's fine. But so long as he's in that position, he's going to be held accountable by me and by every other taxpayer that wants an answer.
Okay. Now, I get all that. But I always cringe when I hear that. I mean, who the fuck cares? Just leave him alone and sell comics.
Interested in reaching out to you regarding Monday night's meeting. I understand there might have been a fight between you and a community member.
Whedon spoke with us over the phone and said Spula started the confrontation verbally. He says the tensions revolved around conversations online involving his family and that he was defending himself, and notes that Spula said, quote, "Stand up, let's go." Okay. Spula shares that the animosity has been growing between the two.
This guy looks like a guy who might live like on a vineyard in Sicily and order mob hits.
Me and Charlie want this fight. I want it. He wants it. We both want to go old school and finish it, okay? That's the way I was raised. That's the way he was raised.
The city of Hartford.
All right, so he just wants a fist fight.
Hartford Commission met last night to discuss alleged violations of the city's code of conduct and ethics.
That's like death by combat or trial by combat, Game of Thrones.
Ordinance by Whedon. In an email, the mayor says she is unable to comment due to possible litigation. The Van Buren County Sheriff's Office confirms that the case has been referred to their office.
Now, John Spula tells me he has requested that charges be placed against Commissioner Charlie Wheaton, and now a recall petition effort is in the works. Live in the Kalamazoo studio, Josh Sanchez.
That's ridiculous. No, you don't want him recalled. Piano Finger Banger says these two should box for charity. Tophus says the commissioner sounds like a piece of shit. I was just reminded, seeing these guys sit on that dais. Did you see? You remember the hillbilly in Tennessee, the old man on the school board? They brought the teenager to talk about whatever an upcoming project that she's involved in, and she's like one of the brightest academic minds in the high school, and she speaking to the school board next to that old pervert, and the pervert, he can't control his horny level, and he put his finger on her and he goes, she's like, what? And he goes, God, you're hot. And then he goes, what school do you go to? God, you're hot. What school do you go to? And she goes, I go to whatever school. And he goes, damn. And then, so they don't do anything. In fact, one of the other board members goes, oh, Mr. Irvin. Oh, you. Oh, come on now. Damn, you're hot. What school do you go to? God. The girl's dad spoke in front of them all and said, hey, this is terrible. Something's got to change here. This guy's got to go. They're like, yeah, whatever. Fuck you. And then the kid came and spoke. And they didn't do anything. And now He's being finally something is happening. He's charged with assault. Now, when I think assault, I think it's, you hurt someone. But technically, if you lay a finger on a person, you're assaulting them. Oh, he also hugged her, too. I forgot about that. First he said, "Damn, you're hot. What school do you go to?" And then he hugged her. He put his hands on her and hugged her. April 2nd is when that happened. Yeah, he's been charged with assault according to court records. No response yet from his lawyer. He had been censured. He's been a board member for 20 years. And his first court appearance is scheduled for August. Yeah, I don't know ultimately what's going to happen to him. But, I mean, he said afterwards, and I kind of believe him. I mean, it sounded hideous that he said, "God, you're hot. What school do you go to?" And then touch her. But in my heart of hearts, I do not believe that guy is a pedophile. All right. I believe he's an idiot. And I believe that he was, because he said, "I was trying to express that she's on a roll because she's doing so well at this." Now, what a normal person would say is, "Wow, you're really one of our best, brightest young minds. Great job delivering what you just said. Good work." And then that's the end of it. But he said, "You're hot, and what's good?" And just, I think he was encouraging her and elaborating that she is on a roll. But I think he's an idiot. This is not a smart man. And we've heard him speak. He seems a little touched, a little simple. And however, I will say this. He's doubling down, though, and said, "How could, I didn't mean anything by it." But what he should say is, "I understand that I do sound like a pedo there. I get it. And because of that, it's a huge distraction. So because everybody thinks I'm a pedophile, I'm not, but I can understand how distracting and awful that sounded. You're right. I need to go. I'm going to go out and farm my field. And that'll be the end of me when it comes to being part of the school board. I didn't mean anything by it, but I totally get it. It sounded fucking... I'm not a pedophile, but I know it sure as fuck sounded like I am. So, sorry about that. Goodbye." That's what he should do. But because he dug his fucking heels in, fuck that guy. He doesn't care about her. He doesn't care about how it looks. He doesn't care about how... Now, she might be, thinking she really was being molested. He needs to put that fire out by doing what I just said. But he's not going to do that because he's a dumb fucking hick. All right? He's a dumb fucking hick. Man Bun Chris says same, but it just looks so bad, LOL, like the out-of-context EZ clips on here. Oh, my God, yes. Out-of-context clips on my show are terrible. The Chaldean, that's why the Chaldean tried to get me in for 20G for the contempt of court charge. The Chaldean takes my clips and is fueled by Chaldean rage. And then the next thing I know, my ass is in front of the fucking judge and my head's spinning. Now, fortunately, the wise Judge Baker only threw $500, but she hears my shit out of context, too. And she's disgusted with me. Because There are so many clips of me saying awful, awful fucking things apart from the big picture of people who don't know me, don't know my how I express myself, and they sound terrible. Tofus goes with the clip of free beer and the girl who played the cheerleader on Heroes might be the worst. Well, yes, but in context and out of context, there's no context that made that in any way seem normal. We were talking about the success of the show, and he's talking about her being a sex symbol. She's 13 at the time, refers to her as a sex symbol, and then asks if we're going to hear a story about her being, quote unquote, linked to someone else on the show. And we all knew what he meant. Yeah, that was worse than, God, you're hot. Nick in Houston says he should have said, God, you're academically sexy. Branjo says, yeah, I've learned over the years that a lot of people are just not comfortable with physical contact, even if you know them. A lot of our members are ladies, and I do goofy high fives unless they hug me first. A lot of your members, are you in a cult? What does that mean? Your members. Yeah, fuck that high five shit too. You don't even want to be friendly with anybody. You're there to do a job. If I have a workplace environment, which I don't, like whenever I happen to saunter into Q100 Michigan up north. Now up there, it's a different world. Branjo is in a realtor line of work. Up there, it's a different world. I would never go and offer the hugs, but that whole office is women. And as you know, being the sex symbol that I am, when I walk in there, my job is to get felt up. So the whole place is just full of women. And then I walk in and, okay, now where I am, I'm only like an 8. But in Grayling, I'm a 15. I'm a Grayling 15. So I walk in and I'm completely molested over and over and sexually abused by these women. And frankly, I'm okay with it. Where were we? Okay. Talking about the dude. Fuck that guy. All right. This next thing is tricky. Chelsea Handler is ripping into Shane Gillis and Tony Hinchcliffe after the Kevin Hart roast special. She rips into racist and sexist Shane Gillis and Tony Hinchcliffe after the Kevin Hart roast. Now let's be perfectly clear. Roast jokes are the most devastating insult comedy moments that can exist. And I love every single bit of them. I can't get enough of roast jokes. The more vile, the more racist, the more sexist, the more out there, the better. That's how they are. The whole dais gets it. The roast master gives it. The roast master gets it. The person who's being honored, who's being roasted, gets it. That's it. There are no other rules. Roast. she has a problem with some of their jokes. Now, I can read them, but I'm not going to play them. They're horrifically great. I will never, ever see a joke, especially roast-style jokes, and try to talk them down. I get it. The more inappropriate, the better. Like if I see, what's the guy's name? Ari Shaffir. See, that's his brand. Kobe Bryant dies. 6 minutes after his death is announced, Ari Shaffir is making horrible jokes about the death of Kobe Bryant. Just saying that is so fucked up. It doesn't make it less funny for me. When this happens, I'm like, well, of course he is. And I would never do it. If I did that, suddenly you don't expect me to do that. It would be a problem. But this is the guy's brand. It's what he's always done. I don't give a fuck. Anyway, Chelsea writes, I knew enough about Tony Hinchcliffe and Shane Gillis. And she says, they're racist, they're bigots, and they're sexist. Now, she said that publicly on a podcast. I'm surprised she would do that because that's all slander. You can be sued for that. So I guess she doesn't care and she's going to put her foot down. I'll give her credit for that, whatever. And I don't care and they probably don't care, either of those guys. That's actually good for business that she would say horrible things about them. This was on Den Cole's Funny Knowing You podcast. I don't find those jokes funny, she went on, referencing Gillis poking fun at Kevin Hart's height during the roast earlier this month, saying Hart, 46, is so short, quote, they're going to have to lynch him from a bonsai tree. You see, even just reading it and reading someone else's joke, how in the world could you not find that fucking funny? It's absurd. Of course he doesn't want him or anyone lynched. It's a short joke with that element to it. I'm sorry. I can't dismiss that as anything other than funny. She says lynching black people is not a joke. Handler asserted it's worse than rape. Okay. It shocks me that a comedian could be this wound up about jokes. When it comes to telling jokes, if you're the person that's telling them and you work in a way that you don't let social norms get in the way of what you're creating, good on you. I wouldn't do it. I haven't done it. I can make jokes doing my own thing. But God damn. I've also never been in a roast. I mean, it depends on how far I would be willing to go. But I think it's dangerous for one comic to say to another, you can only do these types of jokes. You can't do these types of jokes. I don't know. I think it's ridiculous. She also touched on Tony Hinchcliffe's joke about the death of Cheryl Underwood's late husband. I don't know who that is. Michael Sparkman, who died by suicide back in 1990. Though Underwood herself recently appeared on Gillis's Matt and Shane's Secret podcast the same day, defending the jokes, saying that sometimes humor is the thing. Okay, so the joke was made about late husband. She appeared on Shane Gillis's podcast saying, no, that's a good joke. To me, game, set, match. Handler insisted that Hart deserved, quote, an elevated roast, and that at a roast, comedians can go for it without being gross. Yeah, who are you to tell what other comedians can say? Okay? They're on there to do what they're paid to do. All right? Roast. Do it. We can't have one comedian say, no. This is hands up. Shut the fuck up. This is comedy. Leave it the fuck alone. It's fine the way it is. If they're willing to put themselves out there, let them deal with it. If it's so bad, certainly the world is going to rebel on them, right? I mean, if they are, they are. Let that sort it out, not you twat. A representative for Hinchcliffe did not immediately respond to Page 6's request for comment on Wednesday, though Gillis told Page 6, quote, I love this. This is a big moment for Chelsea. I'm glad she's capitalizing. Good for her. We're all rooting for her. Anyway, come see me July 17th at the football stadium in Philadelphia. Signed, Shane. Handler was a roaster at the event, was introduced by Gillis with equally blistering comments, referencing her appearance at a 2010 event hosted by Jeffrey Epstein and taking aim at her liberal views. Gillis later defended the course. That's the problem. That's what pissed her off. Gillis later defended the course comments as fun. Handler, meanwhile, addressed her attendance at Epstein's event in 2021 in an interview with Rob Lowe, insisting the dinner party was awkward and that she didn't know who he was at the time. Yeah, whatever. So what? You were there and it's funny. Let it go. Of course, everybody knows that. I believe that you didn't know. I'm not saying that you were there and you knew what the fuck was going on. Let's see. There's a couple more. Michael Che, he spoke out on this too. From Saturday Night Live. He took to Instagram 2 days after the roast in a since deleted. Why did you delete it? Upload to criticize the jokes delivered by Tony Hinchcliffe and Gillis. White guys and black people joke different. He wrote, black guys roast like, quote, look at this N-word shoes. White roasts are like slavery, math, slain teens, sex crimes, slurs, family secrets. That's funny. What you wrote is funny. In another, Che added, white guys don't give a fuck about they shoes. In another since-deleted post, the Emmy-nominated writer took aim at white writers hired to write jokes for comedians at the controversial live event. Let's do a roast celebrating the career of the most successful black comic in the last 10 years, he wrote. I love that. Who should we get to write it? In another slide, he shared a pic of 5 members of Gillis's writing team, all white men. Come on, that's not funny. The comedic actor captioned the snapshot. Well, whatever. I don't give a fuck. You can joke about whatever you want. It's fine. Okay, that's the difference between me and Chelsea Handler. The fact that Michael Che is joking about it, good. Or maybe he's serious. I don't give a fuck. I will say this. Chelsea Handler is a fucking fox. Here she is next to Gillis. I think she's so cute. And I think they're so funny. And I think she's kind of an asshole for saying all this shit. Shut the fuck up. All right. I'm sure there's plenty of comments on this. Nick in Houston says, does the Q100 brass know that you're an old school radio puker? Probably. Stevie says that Charlie Kirk joke was so cringy, but great. Oh, yeah. I loved it. Chelsea Handler doesn't give a fuck. It's awesome. Alan says, holy fuck, that's funny. I think he's referring to the bonsai tree joke. She was on the dais at the time. It was bad until you find out he died in 1990 or so. Hayden wouldn't high-five you. Branjo. Michael Che is just mad. He's got to be careful so he don't get fired. Tofus says Chelsea Handler used to be funny too. I think she's still funny. and hot. Little young for me at 51, though. Yeah, right. Something weird happened on Survivor last night. This person wrote, as someone who missed the Will Smith slap live, this was the wildest live TV moment I've ever seen. R.I.P. to whoever lost their job. This might require us to fill in some blanks as to what is happening here. This happened on TV. There's Probst, who looks weird now, and I think he has a lot of work done on his face.
Hey, Rizzo, you become the final member of our jury. Take a spot over here. This is it. These are the people. Their games fell a little short, but this is the group.
This is live last night.
That is going to figure out what just happened.
Okay, so now he's breaking the, what is it called, the third wall or the fourth wall or the fifth wall? He doesn't know. Something happened there. He's not sure what. People are reacting to what he just did. Probst.
They didn't show the fire.
Fire hasn't happened yet.
Huh?
The fire hasn't happened yet.
Keep going.
Fire hasn't happened yet. Now, I don't know the specifics of the show and how it works anymore, but I think what has happened here is he revealed something before it was. He did his own spoiler alert. He spoiled something before it was revealed. He fucked it up, is what Probst did.
I'm not even sure what's happened, but up next, we're going to have one final surprise for the players.
Yeah, he's fucked. Look at his face.
And this surprise they like. This is going to be interesting.
All right, now they're all laughing, all the other contestants, because they know he just fucked the whole thing up.
Hey, Rizzo, you...
Okay, so then that happens, and then someone shot video from in the crowd. Crazy. Survivor spoiler. Chaos during commercial break after Probst accidentally reveals Rizzo as the loser of fire making before it aired. Okay, they give Probst a mic. There's studio audience, obviously. He's asking what did happen. The crowd's telling him what he did wrong. He looks like just before Bruce Jenner officially became Caitlyn Jenner. You know, that's what he looks like right now. He looks like Bruce Jenner a day and a half before he came out as a woman.
I came out too soon. That's pretty fucked up.
All right, so I guess that was a disaster. The whole world's talking about it. How did no one else stop Rizzo from walking on stage, though? I don't know the context. I don't know what's happening. The most interesting thing is Probst's face. All right. Still, though, a lot of people are talking about that. Can't wait to show you this. This is some Asian country, probably Japan. Every time I've watched one of these AI robots, it looks like it can barely move. Now, this one ultimately falls down and can't get back up. But they're making great strides with these robots. And this particular one does wipe out and lays there and can't get up. And then some tech nerd has to come pick up the robot and drag him off the stage. But that being said, the robots are starting to move quite well. And I'm excited about this. Because they're playing Billie Jean, and this robot's killing it on the dancing. He does trip early, and then he picks it back up and dances, but then he fully wipes out. So, he falls down one. He's like, God damn it. play any more of the music. But it broke. It broke. So then this dude comes out, this dude Fuji, and he's like, oh, shit. And he starts dragging it out. The robot is fucked. That lady there, she said, your robot sucks dick in Japanese right there at the end. That's what she actually said to him. But I disagree. I thought that was great. Regardless of it falling down and not getting up, I think that it's a little unnerving. But I still like it. I like that we could have robots. We could have a fucking you remember that Star Wars movie, the droids. That's what that reminds me of. Dova says, check out the Boston Dynamics robots if you want to be scared. Yeah, I have. I'm not scared. I think it's great. I love it. I am a full supporter. I embrace all of that. And the only people who are scared are idiots who watch movies like Terminator and think that we're going to be attacked or something like that. And you're stupid fucks. And you need to knock that shit off right now. Kind of like all the assholes who are booing at the commencement speeches because of AI. We just had a big announcement locally here, and I'm very, very happy about this. We have 2,250 people who are out of work at this enormous company based in Grand Rapids known as Acrisure. Because of this, we are all getting lower insurance rates and better concerts. They employ hundreds of thousands of people across the globe. And they've come up with a way to save money through artificial intelligence. So all these redundant jobs that no longer need a person to do, you're out. Well, what am I going to do? Not my problem. You figure it out. We need more of that, you know, because nothing motivates people more to do new adventurous things, and they're forced to sink or swim more than a layoff. You know, it's either, now some of them will in fact throw themselves out of buildings, but that's okay. We didn't need them anyway. All right. We need the ones who can adapt. So Acrisure just announced all these layoffs. You're out. AI doing the job. Sorry, not sorry. Here's a box. Get your shit and go home. Now they got to go, and they got to, what can I possibly do? You know what you can do. Quit being a bitch. Go get a job. Nick says, and that $30 million donated comes out to $13,000 per worker. Would have got them 2 more months. I don't know what the fuck that means. What am I missing in the context there? Piano finger banger. Meta also just laid off 8,000. Alan says, learn how to turn a wrench, pussy. $30 million for naming rights of the amphitheater. That's what Nick's talking about. All right. Yeah. I don't have a problem with any of that. My business is burnt out. Radio has been wasted by AI. And in fact, I fully expect to be replaced, especially by the iHeart radio station. They're going to find a robot that can that doesn't sound like a crusty old puker. That is the way of the world. You know, you get old-time radio dick like me, who's hardcore puker on the oldie station, and they're like, okay, either we pay the puker minimum wage, who doesn't respond to criticism well, or we can just push this button, and he sounds like every other jock that we have here that's run by robots, and we don't have to pay him. I wonder what they're going to do. That's why I'm confident that, and by the way, I decided that I am going to announce my retirement. I am right now on the 21st of May announcing that the end is in sight for the Eric Zane Show podcast. And I have a date set of, that would be July, August, September, October, November, December, January 7th, 12 years from now. So that's, today's 26, 2038, 2039. January 7th, 2039 is my retirement date. Unless if they raise the age of Social Security. 67 and a half. I've gotten through 7.5 years on my own. I only need roughly another 12 and a half. I am almost to the halfway point of by myself, on my own. I don't need anybody else. Fuck you. Tova says, I can build you an AI Zane that can talk back to you during this stream. You're hired. That sounds fun. Can you give me like a version of a demo so that we can try it out live on the air here? I have no idea about how AI works. All I know is that you can train it to mimic somebody else's voice and make them say something that they didn't. And there's a lot of fun videos. But there are thousands of practical uses for it that cause people from Acrisure to be laid off and Meta to be laid off. And that's good. We need more of that. But if I can get a practical way that we can utilize AI on this show, I am all for it. But you're going to have to show me the light. He says, just feed it clips of this podcast. I don't know what that means. To me, that's another language. EZ, why don't you educate yourself? I don't have time. I'm busy doing real world shit. Going on here, getting contempt of court charges and being convicted of contempt of court, or found in contempt, I shouldn't say convicted, going to faraway courts, dealing with fucking Chaldean lawyers, being a sex symbol, being the voice of everything in town, doing this podcast. I don't have time to be sitting around staring at a computer doing AI shit. Black Belt Nick says, you worked more than anyone I know. You're a goddamn machine. Well, I appreciate that. You have to be, Nick, if you're going to beat AI. I want it 100-0 every time. I win. If it scores 1 point, I don't like that. I don't even know how it would score a point. All right. Hey, everybody. Robot here. Robot was fun. For those of you that don't know, there was a text-to-voice generator thing, and we just named him Robot on the radio show. And I would type in ridiculous shit for Robot to say. We would get our ratings back every 3 months, and we were always number one. Still number one. And then I would write a ratings review of all the other stations and how shitty they did up against our show. So basically it was an opportunity to say whatever the fuck we wanted about all the other shitty radio shows in town. So we'd say all sorts of nasty shit about Billy and all the other shows and then laugh like fucking little girls. Man Bun Chris says, I thought iHeart used AI to generate your voice anyway. You know, when I first told that joke or that story and convinced people that they were doing that, we weren't even to the point where AI was being introduced to radio. It was only talked about. And what I said was, I didn't think it was possible I mean, at the time when I was saying those things, I thought that was all a fairy tale and could never really happen. Little did I know we were on the crest of the wave of that becoming a reality. And it wasn't any more than a few months later that radio stations started to actually use artificial intelligence to power the radio stations. All right. I have the asshole of the day. It's moments away, my friends. If you have a nominee, I have one in my head, but you might have one too in the chat. So by all means, if you have one, I would love to hear your suggestion. My latest sponsor is Lexi Marie Photography. There's so much she can do for you. When you go to LexiMariePhoto.com, Lexie Marie, Marie, photo.com. Love that name, by the way. Click contact. Click below to inquire about engagement and wedding, lifestyle, extended family, grow with me. That's like baby pics. And then you get more baby pics as time passes so that you can, have that as the kid grows. Fresh 24 to 48 newborn session. So like the baby's born and she's taking pics like during those first couple of days. Branding commercial. You have a business. If you're taking pictures with your iPhone and posting them on Facebook, trust me, it looks like shit. Have her do it. Seniors. I guess that could be old people, but it's like senior pics for your kid. Anyway, click on any of these things. Fill out this info, name, email, phone number. How did you hear about us? This is the most important thing, because then you click on this arrow and the drop down shows up and you scroll down to Eric Zane Podcast. That way she knows that I'm the shit. Put your wedding date or whatever date you're looking for. She'll ask for a couple other comments, and then it goes directly to her. You'll be talking to her by the end of the day, and boom, there you go. In the meantime, go to the website, LexiMariePhoto.com. Click on portfolio and browse what she can do. Okay? And remember, click on 2026 mini sessions. These are various environments that you can take pics in. Beach mini session, Tall Pines mini session, paint mini session. I don't know what the hell that is. My favorite is Highland Cow. Thank you to Lexi Marie. Reach out to her and tell her I sent you. Don't navigate healthcare.gov alone. Reach out to Frank Fuss. All you need to do to get healthcare at healthcare.gov is reach out to him at appointmentwithfrank.com. It'll help you every step of the way. It's flawless, and you will get into a policy. Typically, people who take advantage of these policies are those in between jobs. Perhaps they're self-employed or the boss just doesn't offer health insurance. Now, open enrollment is done. However, if you have a life-changing event like you're starting your own business because you just lost your job or something like that, you're exempt. You can still get insurance. Just reach out to Frank. He'll take care of everything. His services are free. They're always free. And he's willing to help. Appointmentwithfrank.com. Finally, today, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my friends over at Kuiper Tree Care. You got to have a tree guy. And if you have unwanted trees in the property, Kuiper Tree Care will get rid of them expertly, quickly. They'll grind down the stumps. They'll clean up all the mess. You won't even know that they were there, especially if you're at work. You come home, tree's gone. Place looks great. Get a quote today by reaching out to Ben Kuiper at 616-828-8225. That's 616-828-8225. When we last met, I was the asshole of the day because I yelled at my neighbor, Mike. Before I get to the asshole of the day, I guess there was a funny moment when that was all happening. And it was sent to me via text by Adam Balboa. And when something funny happens, he sends it to me. He'll actually send me the clip, and this is the clip that he sent me.
All right, if that's the case, if you know my neighbor, what is the neighbor's first name that I am about to tell you the story about, and then I'll believe you? I mean, I guess it's possible that you know my neighbor, and that after this happened, my neighbor, okay, you do know my neighbor. You do.
The fact, you don't know my neighbor, you know my neighbor. That made him laugh out loud. I hope it made you laugh out loud, too. You know, I was going to make it the lady at the vet who didn't lock the door. But this one makes a lot more sense. Thank you, Black Belt Nick. It's Chelsea Handler. Come on. Fucking grow up, idiot. My God. Man Bun Chris says, I laughed at that too. Okay, you do know my neighbor. Folks, that is going to do it for me. I have a Patreon podcast today. If you want to check that out for free at patreon.com/Eric Zane. But otherwise, that's going to do it. And I'll be back with you with a fresh free show on Tuesday. Thank you so much for being part of this one, and I'll talk to you next time. Thank you, folks. Bye-bye.